Bismillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. Let's continue our lesson. Al-Mudarrisu. Al-Mudarrisu. Is this Ismul Fa'il or Ismul Maf'ul? Do you remember? Al-Mudarris. La, Al-Mudarris. So, Al-Mudarris, you know the second last root letter, when it has kasra, that means it is the doer. Fa'il, yeah. So we have darrasa, yudarrisu, tadrisan, which is basically form number 2, and at-taf'il, and fahuwa mudarrisun, and he is the teacher. Al-Mudarrisu, the teacher. Inna Allaha, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, laghafurun rahimun, is indeed the most forgiving, the most merciful. Now we have learned in the beginning of the lesson that this lam is basically used for emphasis, and it is used in the beginning of the sentence. However, if we have inna before it, then what happens? It moves from mubtada to khabar. So we have ismu inna and khabaru inna. Which one is ismu inna? Ismul jalala. Yeah, Allah. Yeah, ismul jalala is ismu inna. And khabaru inna is basically ghafurun, and then the sifa is masuf and sifa is rahimun. However, for double emphasis, this lam is used. So it will be inna Allaha la ghafurun rahimun. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most forgiving and the most merciful. We have discussed like innal insana lafi khusr, and we have also discussed that inna shirka la dhulmun adhimun, and there are many examples that we have in the Quran. Do you remember the name of this lam? Does anyone remember the name of this lam? This is called Allamu al-Muzahlaqatu, the displaced lam. Why is it called displaced? Because its place has been changed, or it has been moved from mubtada to khabar. Wala dhikrullahi akbar. We see over there wala dhikrullah. So we can see that it is on mubtada, but when we use inna before this, then it changes, or it transfers or moves from mubtada to khabar. So that's why it is called allamu al-muzahlaqatu, the displaced lam. Ya Aba Bakrin, O Abu Bakr. And we have discussed many times that it was basically Abu Bakrin. And we know that when we have ya before mudaf ilayh, then after ya we will use the nasb form. So it is Abu, Aba, Abi. So after ya we have to use Aba. If it is regular construction, for example, you say Huwa Abu Bakrin, he is Abu Bakr. But when we use ya before it, then it becomes ya Aba Bakrin. So it's ya Aba Bakrin, O Abu Bakr. Ma at-tijaratu, what is the trade? So this ma is ma al-istifhamiyya, and this is ismul istifham, which is used to ask a question. So it will be mubtada, and at-tijaratu will be khabar. Sometimes we know that both mubtada and khabar can be proper nouns. Allati, which. Dallana, as we know, dalla yadullu, dalalatan is to guide. So dalla, he guided. Na, us. So dalla is the verb fail, and na is the maful bihi object, and the fa'il is ismul jalala. Allahu, dallana Allahu ta'ala, and this is the sifa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alayha, towards it. And ha, as we know, refers to at-tijara. So ma at-tijaratu allati dallana Allahu ta'ala alayha. What is the trade which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided us to? Abu Bakrin, as we know that it is marfu because it's the name of the person, and it is in it's like the original construction of any noun will be always marfu. So when we talk about the original construction of the noun, it is always marfu. It will be mansub or majroor for a reason. You know that if there is any amil before it, because of that amil, the noun can be marfu or mansub or majroor. So here we can see amil is ya, and we will see that here ba is amil, because of harf jar, the noun becomes majroor. Hiya al-imanu, it is iman or faith, billahi in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wa rasulihi and in his messenger. So here is mubtada, al-imanu is khabar, and then billahi wa rasulihi. Billahi is jar majroor, wa is waw al-atf, and rasulihi is also matuf from billahi. Here al-imanu billahi wa rasulihi, it is to have faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in his messenger. Wal jihadu, and jihad fi sabilillahi, in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bin nafsi, with life or lives, wal mali, and with wealth. Here al-imanu billahi wa rasulihi, it is to have faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger. Wal jihadu fi sabilillahi bin nafsi wal mali, and to strive in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with life and wealth. Okay. Udhkur al-mudarrisu, the teacher. Udhkur, mention. This is fi'l al-amr. Dhakara yadhkuru, and fi'l al-amr will be udhkur, mention. So this is fi'l plus fa'il, and ayatan will be maf'ul bihi. Udhkur ayatan. Ayatan is mawsuf, and ukhra is the sifa. Mention one more or any other verse of the Quran. Tahuthu. Hatha yahuthu is to urge or to motivate. Tahuthu is fail plus fa'il, and al-muslimina is maf'ul bihi. If we have al-muslimuna, then al-muslimuna will be fa'il. But if we have al-muslimina, that means it is mansub. So fail plus fa'il, yani hiya tahuthu. So basically the verse of the Quran is the fa'il. Al-muslimina is maf'ul bihi. Ala, as we know, is the harf jar. Ala al-jihadi, ya Zuhairu, O Zuhair. Jihad, we have discussed that this bab, fa'ala yufa'ilu mufa'alatan and fi'alan, it has two masdar. So one is mufa'alatan and the other is fi'al. So it is on the pattern of fi'al, which is jihad. Udhkur ayatan ukhra, mention any other verse of the Quran. Tahuthul muslimina ala al-jihadi ya Zuhairu, which motivates Muslims to strive in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ya Zuhairu, O Zuhair. Zuhair says, قال تعالى في السورة نفسها, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in a verse itself, nafsiha itself, it is also used for emphasis, for tawqeed, for emphasis. The same surah, you remember the name of the surah? Surah As-Saf. So that's why Zuhair says, قال تعالى في السورة نفسها, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself said in the same surah, Inna Allah, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yuhibbu, ahabba yuhibbu, form number 2, yuhibbu, loves alladhina, those who yuqatiluna, qatala yuqatilu muqatalatan, those who fight, fi sabilihi, in his path, saffan, in rows, كأنهم, as though or as if, they are كأنهم bunyanun, a structure, marsusun, joined firmly, or a firm structure. So inna Allah yuhibbu alladhina yuqatiluna fi sabilihi, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves those who fight in his cause, saffan, in rows. So saffan here is basically it is hal. Inshallah, we will discuss about this in the coming lessons. كأنهم, as though, bunyanun marsusun, are a single structure joined firmly. Marsusun, can you figure out the pattern of marsus? What pattern is this? Marsusun, maf'ulun, right? Maf'ulun, right? Maf'ul. It's on the pattern of maf'ulun. So rassa yarusu, and then rasun wa marsusun. So that's why it is basically joined. That's why it's translated as passive, or it is joined as the receiver of the action. So bunyanun is a noun, jamid, ismul jamid. Bunyanun means a structure, and marsusun, joined firmly. Al-mudarrisu, the teacher. Manil ladhina, who are the people, yuhibbuhum, Allahu. So now we have meme is sakin and we have to connect it. How will we connect it? Meme sakin.
يحبهم الله.
Excellent. We will connect it with dhamma. Perfect. Normally, if we have a sakin letter, we connect it with kasra. For example, here, man, and when we get connected with alladina, it becomes manilladina. Normally, we connect with kasra. However, meme is connected with dhamma. Meme is connected with dhamma. As we know that Allah, as we know that the lafz al-jalala or ism al-jalala, also this is Hamzatul Wasl. So that's why whenever we have Hamzatul Wasl after the second letter, normally we connect it with Kasra, but with Meme we connect it with Dhamma. Yuhibbuhumullahu ya Aliyu. Who are the people? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves them or loves. Okay, please remember that man is a very important word that is used a lot in the Quran. It can be used for singular and also it is used for plural. Alladina, is it singular or plural? Alladina is the plural of, plural of alladhi, yeah. So we have in the Quran man dhalladhi and also we have manilladina. So man is used for both singular and it is also used for plural. Please note it down. Aliyun yuhibbul mujahidina. He loves those who strive. Mujahidina is ismul fa'il, right? Jahada yujahidu mujahadatan. Fahuwa mujahidun. Mujahid. Sorry, here, mujahid. And similarly, muqatilina. Qatala yuqatilu. Fahuwa muqatilun. Muqatil is the fighter. So this is also ismul fa'il. Al mujahidina, those who strive in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then their sifa is al-muqatilina, they are fighters. Fi sabilihi, in his path. Yuhibbul mujahideen al-muqatilina fi sabilihi. He loves the striving fighters in his path, or the fighters who strive in his path. Okay. Al-mujahidina wal-muqatilina, why is it mansoob? Because yuhibbu fail plus fa'il. Excellent. Yuhibbu. Please remember that whenever we have the first form of the verb, it can be the past tense or the present tense. For example, ahabba yuhibbu. So it can be the doer can be inside it. For example, in this case, it is huwa yuhibbu. So the doer is inside it. So that's why we can see over here that the noun that follows it or comes after this is mansoob. So if the noun after this is marfu', that means the noun is the file. But here, noun is not the file, the noun that comes after that. Here, the file is huwa, that is hidden inside it. And of course, it refers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Mudarris, the teacher. Kayfa yuqatilu ha'ula'i. How do these fight? And these refers to al-mujahidina. Yeah, yuqatilu, as we have seen over here. Qatala, oh, this one should be yuqatilu with alif. Yuqatilu. Kayfa yuqatilu ha'ulai. How these fight, and then we can also say how these mujahideen fight, because we can see over here it refers to mujahideen. Aliyun yuqatiluna, they fight. Fi sufufin, in rows. Safun, and the plural of or ranks, the plural of saf is sufuf. Wa yathbutuna, thabata yathbutu, that means to be steadfast. Wa yathbutuna fi amakinihim. Amakin, we know that this is the plural of makan. Makan has two plurals, amkina wa amakin. Here it is amakin. Fi amakinihim, in their places. Inda, when. Mulaqatil uduwi. Mulaqat. Laqa, yulaqi, mulaqat. So we can see over here, mulaqat is the masdar. In the mulaqat al-aduwi, so basically it means to meet, but here it means when they face al-aduv, their enemy. So when they face their enemy. يقاتلون في صفوف, they fight in ranks. ويثبتون في أماكنهم, and they are steadfast in their places. عند ملاقات العدو, while facing their enemies. So they are steadfast in their ranks and they do not run away. They stay steadfast. Al-Mudarrisu, the teacher. ماذا تفيد أفاد يفيد, so it will be تفيد. ماذا تفيد كأن يا زهير. As we have learned in the previous lessons, أفاد يفيد means to give the benefit, to benefit, and also it means to signify it, to signify. ماذا تفيد كأن يا زهير. What does كأن signify, O زهير؟ تفيد التشبيه. It signifies similarity. Tashbih. Can you figure out tashbih? Is this verb or noun? Is this masdar, or is this like past tense or present tense?
Masdar,
Masdar of what? Excellent. Form number 2. I can tell you this is form number 2. Fa'ala yufa'ilu taf'ilan. Yes. Yes. Shabbaha yushabbihu tashbihan. Excellent. Shabbaha yushabbihu tashbihan. So like something looks like similar to something else. So tufidu at-tashbiha, it signifies similarity. Nahwu, for example, كأن المسجد مدرسة. The masjid is as if it is a school, or the masjid looks like a school, or the masjid is a place which is similar to school. Okay. كأن, as we know that this is from the sisters of Inna, one of the sisters of Inna. That's why ismu كأن will be mansub and khabaru كأن will be marfu, as we can see over here. And we have discussed it several times. So ismu كأن is masjid, so that's why it is mansub. كأن المسجد مدرسة. The masjid is as if it's a school. كأن الكتاب مدرس. The book is like a teacher, or the book is similar to a teacher. وكذلك, and similarly, and like that, tufidu, and it gives, or it gives the benefit, or it signifies الظن, assumption, and also it signifies assumption. نحو, for example, كأنني أعرفك. I think I know you, or I assume that I know you. So here it is not tashbih, it's not similarity. Here it is dhan, here it is assumption. It's like, I think I know you. So here you're not sure whether you know or not the person, so that's why you say, I think I know you. كأنني أعرفك. So here it gives the benefit of assumption. So it can be used for tashbih, similarity, and also it can be used for assumption. Adhan. أحسنت يا زهير. Excellent, O Zuhair. ما لك تنعس يا عبد الله. What's wrong with you? ما لك. So ma is also again here. This is ismul istifham, which is used to ask a question. Laka, as we know, is jar majroor. So this is mubtada and this is khabar. Ma laka. What's wrong with you? Tan'asu. Na'asa yan'asu. It means to doze off. To doze off. Ya Abdullahi, O Abdullah. What's wrong with you, Ya Abdullah? You are dozing off. Abdullah. So here we will say Abdullah because it is like here we don't have ya before it. If we have ya before it, it will be Abdullah because this is mudaf mudaf ilayh. But if we don't have ya before it, then the regular construction is always marfu. La tu'akhidhni ya ustadhu. La tu'akhidhni. Do you remember any verse of the Quran? Akhadha yu'akhidhu mu'akhadatan. Surah Al-Baqarah, the last verses of the Quran. Rabbana la tu'akhidhna in nasina aw akhta'na. Right? Yeah, okay. So la tu'akhidhni ya ustadhu. Don't punish me, O teacher, or don't hold me responsible, O teacher. Zurtu, I visited. Zara yazuru, and the past tense, as we can see here, is zurtu. Al-barihata, last night. Jaran. So zurtu, as we know, is fail plus file. Al-barihata is maf'ul fihi. It's time. It refers to time. And then maf'ul bihi will be jaran. Jaran, neighbor. Li, mine. So I visited a neighbor of mine. وَجَلَسْتُ عِنْدَهُ, and I sat with him. أُشَاهِدُ مباراة كرة القدم. أشاهد, watching. شاهد يشاهد مشاهدة, to watch. Mubarat. Mubarat is basically used for the contest. So it's to compete, and then the meaning is because it is masdar, so it means contest. Watching a contest of what? Mubarata Kuratil Qadami, football. Kuratil Qadam is football. So Mubarat, as we can see here, is mudaf, and Kuratil Qadami is mudaf ilayh. Ushahidu is fail plus file, and this is maful bihi. Mubarata Kuratil Qadami ala, on. Shashat tilfazi, on the screen of the TV. Again, we can see here Shashat tilfazi is mudaf ilayh, on the screen of the TV. Ila, to. Muntasaf al-layli, to the midnight. Okay, so the Abdullah says, لا تؤاخذني يا أستاذ, don't punish me, O teacher. زرت البارحة جارا لي وجلست عنده. I visited a neighbor of mine last night, and I sat with him. أشاهد مباراة كرة القدم, watching football match. على شاشة التلفاز, on the TV screen. إلى منتصف الليل, till midnight. Is this clear? Any questions over here?
Alhamdulillah, it's clear.
Okay, excellent. المدرس. ما ينبغي لطالب, it is not appropriate for a student. أن, that. يضيع, after an, the verb is always mansub. ضيع يضيع تضيعا, to waste, form number 2. Sorry, it should be an, it's sakin. أن يضيع, to waste. وقته, his time. في, in. مشاهدة, watching. So okay, so over here we have here ينبغي. We have also learned in book number 2 as well that ينبغي is the past tense of إنبغى. إنبغى ينبغي. The past tense is not used in Arabic language. Only, or in fact in the Quran, the past tense has not been used. Only the present tense has been used in the Quran. And we can see over here there is a verse of the Quran. وَمَا يَنْبَغِي لِلرَّحْمَنِ أَنْ يَتَّخِذَ وَلَدًا. أَنْ يَتَّخِذَ وَلَدًا. It is not appropriate for the most compassionate to beget a son. And there are, like, I think 3 or 4 times this verb is used in the Quran. And every time it is used in the Quran, it is used as a present tense, not as a past tense. And I've never heard any Arab using the past tense. They always use the present tense. ما ينبغي لطالب أن يضيع وقته. It is not appropriate for a student to waste his time. في مشاهدة التلفاز, while or in watching TV. شاهد يشاهد مشاهدة, we have discussed in the previous slide. Okay, so مشاهدتي, why is it majroor? Because of fi. And what will be the ending of التلفاز?
التلفازي.
Kasra. Okay, why do we have kasra here? Here we have kasra because of fi. Why do we have kasra here? Come on, very simple. A noun can be majroor only for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, you have already figured out that whenever we have harf jar before a noun, the noun after that is always majroor. And number 2, the noun will be majroor when it is mudaf ilayhi. Excellent, mudaf ilayhi. So mushahadati is mudaf and at-tilfazi is mudaf ilayhi. Watching TV. Abdullah. Arjul musamahata, I request forgiveness. Samaha yusamihu musamahatan is to forgive. And musamaha, as we know, this is masdar, and the masdar is sometimes it is translated as a noun itself. So I request your forgiveness, or I request you to forgive me. Both translations are okay. I want you to forgive me, or I request your forgiveness. Yunadi, nada, yunadi, munadatan. On this, inshallah, when we do the exercises, we will discuss like why we have alif over here. Yunadi al-mudarrisu, the teacher calls. Al-muraqiba, the controller. Muraqib. It should be muraqib, I guess, not muraqib. ينادي المدرس المراقب. The teacher calls the controller. Muraqib, we have used it a lot. Muraqib has been showing up in several lessons. Many times he's been showing up, right? Asking students some questions, giving them information. So al-muraqibu, the controller, بعد التحية والمصافحة. تحيتي. Do you remember تحيتي? حية يحيي تحية. This is from number 2. والمصافحة. Which from number is this? The same that we are discussing now from number 3. Safaha yusafihu musafahatan, to shake hand. So after greeting and shaking hand. And why at-tahiyyati and musafahati are majroor? Because of ba'da. As we know that ba'da is used as special mudaf. Anadaitani ya ustadhu, did you call me, O teacher? As we know that this is hamzatul istifham. Nada yunadi munadatan, and then we have here nadaita, nada nada nadu nadat nadata nadaina nadaita. Anadaitani, did you call me, ya ustadu, O teacher? Al mudarrisu, the teacher. Naam, yes. Mata, when? Ya'udu al mudiru, when does the manager come back? قد يعود اليوم إن شاء الله. Okay, let's try to, I would like you to try to translate it. What should be the translation of this? The reason I'm asking you because we have discussed this expression many times in the previous lessons. قد يعود اليوم إن شاء الله. Yes. Does anyone remember? قد is normally used with the past tense. Okay, do you remember an example of the past tense? قد أفلح المؤمنون. قد قامت الصلاة. Right? So قد is used with the past tense and it is used for emphasis. It means indeed. If we use it with the present tense, in this case, as we can see over here, so it gives the meaning of like possibility. He may return today if Allah wills. He may return today if Allah wills. So here we are translating it as may or he might. Or it is possible that he may return today if Allah wills. Okay, if we have here قد عاد اليوم, what will be the translation? قد عاد اليوم. Yes.
He will.
لا. قد عاد اليوم. He has indeed or indeed he has returned today. Again, please, if you remember, if we use قد with the past tense, it means indeed, it means emphasis, it means surely. So if you say قد عاد اليوم, it means he has returned today. He has returned today, if we have the past tense. But if we have the present tense, as we can see over here, then it gives the meaning of ihtimal, or doubt, shak, or possibility. So here we have the meaning of doubt or possibility that he might come back or he might return today. Did you get the idea? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So when we
Yes,
use
sir.
it with the past tense, it means indeed. And when we use it with the present tense, it means doubt or it means there is possibility, doubt or possibility. All right. I guess we can do one exercise if that's okay with you.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, Ustad.
Okay.
Yes, Ustad.
So, أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية. Answer the following questions. A typical sentence that we always have in the beginning of the exercises. Lima, why? Lima safara Ahmadu ila. What is the ending of Makkah? Please tell me.
Ila Makkah.
Excellent. Ila Makkata. Perfect. Why? Because Makkah is mamnu min as-sarf. The names of the countries or the cities, they are mamnu min as-sarf. That means they do not accept kasra. They will only accept dhamma or fatha. What is the status of Makkah? Is it marfu or mansub or majroor?
Majroor, Ustad.
Majroor. Is it majroor? Is it mahallan majroor or is it majroor as it should be?
Mahallan
Mahallan majroor. Yani it's in the place of jar. It is in the place of jar, but we cannot see kasra because it does not accept kasra. Excellent. لما سافر أحمد إلى مكة? Why did Ahmad travel to Mecca? Does anyone remember? Yes, I guess he traveled to.
to enroll.
I don't think so. Isn't it like he traveled to visit his sick brother?
No, to enroll in the university, Ustad.
Let's see here. سافر لعيادة أخيه المريض. He traveled to visit his sick brother. سافر لإعادة أخيه المريض. To his sick brother. Okay. من أين مجاهد? Where is مجاهد from? متى هاجر أبوه? متى هاجر أبوه? When did his father travel? Or in fact, when did his father migrate or immigrate? من الهند, from India. When did his father migrate from India?
When he was young, Ustad. His
Excellent.
father was young.
Very good. Yes. Okay. So the answer is من أين مجاهد? Where is Mujahid from? So the first part is هو أصلا من الهند. He is originally from India. هاجر أبوه وهو شاب. And his father immigrated when he was young. وهو شاب. شاب is اسم الفاعل. شب يشب شاب. He was young. وهو شاب, when he was young. And we know that this waw is vowel hal. How do we know? After vowel hal, we have a complete sentence. Whether it will be a nominal sentence, mubtada and khabar, huwa is mubtada and shabun is khabar, or after that we have a verbal sentence. So whenever we have waw and after that we have a complete sentence, it is used for hal and it means while or when he was young. While he was young. Yes. We have discussed, I think, in lesson number 2 or 3 about this. Waw al-hal. لماذا كان عبد الله ناسان? I did not put the ending for Abdullah and Nasan. I would like you to put the ending for these two. I need the ending of Abdullah and Nasan. You know the word kana, right? Kana has one, yes. It's similar to inna. I mean, the idea is similar to inna, but the meaning and the i'rab will be different from inna. Yes.
Abdullahi.
Abdullahu, yes. Yes.
Kana Abdullah.
Yes, Abdullahu. La, sorry. My mistake. Abdullahi, kana Abdullahi. Yeah, Abdullahi. Because Abd is madaf and Ismul Jalala is madaf ilayh. So, Abdu is marfu. Kana Abdullahi, yes.
Na'san.
The ending of Nasan. Fatha, Dhamma or Kasra?
Kasra, Ustad.
I don't think so.
Fataha.
Fatha, excellent. Why do you say that?
Because that is the Kana Ismu. Khabar.
Khabru kana, excellent. Please remember, we have discussed it many times that kana has ismu kana and khabaru kana. Ismu kana is always marfu and khabaru kana is always mansub. Example, do you remember the example? Kana Allahu aliman hakima. How many times we discussed this example? So when we say kana Allahu, so after kana, Ismul Jalala is what? It is marfu. Kana Allahu. So Ismu Kana and Aliman is what? Khabaru Kana. And Khabaru Kana is always mansub. It is opposite to Inna. We say Inna Allaha Ghafurun. Huh? So we say Kana Allahu Aliman Hakima or Hakiman. If we don't stop, then we say Hakiman, right? So this is Ismu Kana and this is Khabaru Kana. So we can see here Ismu Kana is marfu here and Khabaru Kana is mansub. But when we have Inna, we say Inna Allaha. Yes, Inna Allaha Ghafurun Rahimun. Yes. So we say Ghafurun. So please remember that both of them have ism and both of them have khabar. However, Ismu Inna is always mansub. Inna Allaha Ghafurun, and we have the complete sentence Rahimun, right? So it is always Ismu Inna is always mansub and Khabaru Inna is always marfu'. But when we talk about Kana, it is opposite. The opposite is Kana Allahu Aliman Hakima. So Ismu Kana is marfu and Khabaru Kana is mansub. And of course, the meaning is completely different. Kana means was, but you remember that we have discussed that whenever we refer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it means is. Kana Allahu, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Aliman Hakima, all knowing and all wise. And in Allah Ghafurun Rahimun, and indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most forgiving and most merciful. Okay, so لأنه شاهد, because he watched, if you remember, he watched, what did he watch? Yeah.
Tilfaz.
Yeah, لأنه شاهد مباراة كرة القدم على شاشة التلفاز إلى منتصف الليل, because he watched the football match till the midnight. So that's why he was feeling sleepy or he was dozing off. The last question, ما التجارة التي دلنا عليها الله تعالى في سورة الصف? Which trade did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to in Surah As-Saf?
Al-Iman fi
Yes.
to believe in Allah.
تؤمنون بالله ورسوله وتجاهدون في سبيل الله. Excellent. Yeah, excellent. Okay. So it is هي الإيمان بالله. I recited the verse of the Quran, and the complete answer will be, it is to have faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wa rasulihi, and in his messenger, wal jihadu fi sabilillah, and striving in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bi amwalina wa anfusina, with our wealth and with our lives. All right, alhamdulillah, we have completed the first part, or the first question of the exercise, and inshallah we will continue in the next lesson with the rest of the exercises. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.